Clap it up for Angel is everybody. Straight from East Los.
I think with kind of anything you do, like you really gotta be around like-minded people.
Right.
I feel like a lot of the stuff, like just being around other people, and it might not even be the same genre or field that you're doing. It can be like this guy's trying to make a business look cool, and this guy's trying to make a song or something. But just the idea of seeing other people kind of, transpire their ideas into what they're trying to do, it kind of just I feel like you need to be around people like that.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you're gonna be around people. They're gonna be like, "You're doing too much," or "What's the point of this, bro?" And you know what? No one can really tell you what to do with your time because you can't get it back.
Right.
And I kind of feel the same for other people. Like they might spend more time kind of looking at, hey, he's got motion like this, or he's popping this, and that's cool. Like you always want to keep yourself to some kind of standard, but at the same time, it's like you've also got to just say fuck it and throw your stuff out there. And I really feel that like with any type of thing you do, whether you're trying to promote business or trying to create something from the brand, build a brand, like I feel like all of it is like you got to start somewhere.
Right.
Got to kind of get over people's opinions, I think,
In a way, would you say you have to leave yourself very vulnerable to like criticism?
Of course. And that's why it's such like a thankless thing. Like I can't really speak for other genres too much, but just as a musician, the ironic part of things is that you pretty much have to spend most of your time trying to build enough of a reason for people to support you, right? And so the idea of asking for support can be looked at two other ways. A lot of people will be like, bosses don't ask for shit, that type of shit. But really, the musician is really just having people liking your creativeness so much that they'll help you keep it going,
Right. Yeah, and I mean, it's a very different thing from being a successful artist to being like a boss or a businessman, like right, like it's like the artistry is a very delicate, like it's an intimate thing. Making music's a very intimate thing, and you have to really tap to get good at that. You got to be in those intimate moments, those dark moments, those in a way lonely moments, because you could, even if it's just whether you're working on music by yourself or with just a crew, that still even feels lonely if people are around you, because you're lonely. You're excluded in the world.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, like you even like with the circle within you like create a circle within the circle too, when you start putting yourself out there like that. Whereas like I guess I would see business is more like calculated and this and that.
So pretty much, I feel like once you get past like the project and the intimacy and then all the stuff that it took to kind of get into it, I really feel like about 80% of it after that is business.
Right.
And I feel like and the hard part about it is when you have to try to monetize that in a way. Like, how do you put a value of something that was so deep to you, and now you're gonna express it and possibly have to deal with negotiations or not, and everyone takes that differently. But I really feel like once you understand kind of where your market is headed, kind of the things you're bringing into, because I do know that people like to like kind of not commit to any one side and kind of just feel like I'm gonna appeal to everybody,
right.
And in terms, I will bring in the most people I can.
Yeah, no, and even that though, like that's for sure the case. That because even when I was saying it, I thought about it like, when the art is the art, but then you gotta tap into that business side. You gotta turn that part of it on too, and I guess that's also where like having a team is helpful, right?
Yeah.
Because how much did Kendrick rely on Top Dog and Dave and these
and to help kind of build it?
Yeah, and when they were in those meetings, especially that he's a big presence too. Like that walks into an office, Top Dog, he's gonna walk in,
kind of negotiate what's going on.
Everybody's gonna notice, right? Oh shit, Top's in the building, Top's in the office.
Yeah, because I want to say, like, I know, like, and like I said, I'm just speaking from like a musician type perspective. I've seen tons of dope artists. Like, there's even times, for example, like a lot of times you hear like the independent scene or whatever they're calling the scene nowadays, and some people refer to as the underground, right? Some people say underground music, whatever the case may be. The point I'm trying to get to is that, in the time that I've kind of heard really, really dope artists come on, right? You can tell they have pretty much everything you need: skill, delivery, amazing lyrics, just a lot of it. but they don't go beyond that, bro. Like once that part is over, right? Because realistically, performances are about, let's just say if you're a smaller artist, you're talking about 10 to 20 minutes of your time. If you're a bigger artist, 30 minutes to an hour, and if you're big time mainstream, you go in 2-3 hours, right?
Yeah.
But the point I'm trying to get to is it's not too much. So once you get over your skill and all that, like you need to have the business part of it to really stay alive with things, you know. And I kind of feel like there's even artists that people might not agree with, like, why is this person more emotion, or why is he doing this, or whatever the he said she said type stuff. But the truth is that person's gonna be around a long time, so you better get used to it,
Right.
because they're constantly promoting, they're constantly getting their name out there. They're doing what they can to kind of keep the motion going, and that's what I really feel is like a big thing, is that like, cause if you don't get down the business part of it, like you're just gonna kind of fade out.
Yeah, because you could even get your moment
Yeah.
and not be able to hold on to it, and then you're kind of
Yeah, I've seen so many dope like artists just rock shows and get their little moments and stuff, but that's where it ends pretty much
Yeah.
after the night,
And I think there's kind of like I hate to use the word entitlement in with like within independent artists or upcoming artists. Like,
Yeah.
I hate content. I hate making content. I hate
Yeah.
promoting content, or I hate that side of it, marketing, having to do
Yeah, I
it.
agree.
And I sure don't love it. I didn't really, and I didn't enjoy it when that was really the thing. Well, I mean, I guess there was moments where it was fun, but the posting is kind of tedious,
Yeah,
and
for
shit
sure,
like
for
that,
sure.
and this and that, and a lot of screen time. But if you're not willing to do it, and that what needs to be done now, then you don't really. You don't get to really complain if there's not another, if there's not another, if you can't figure out another way to do it that's not that, then you might as well do it,
Yeah.
right? Like, so, it's one or the other.
For
It's
sure,
either
for
you're
sure.
gonna do it or you're not.
Yeah, but I think most people, they kind of get into kind of an experience where they kind of like how they might have felt. Some people get that from rapping in the garage, or
Right.
whatever the sense may be, and they kind of like the excitement and attention that can come with when you do good in those moments, But definitely to anyone that's trying to like do it for a long period of time,
Right.
like, at some point you've got to kind of understand it's more than just kind of the music you're making.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's a crazy point, bro. Because you're saying, like, if I understood you correctly, you're saying like a lot of people will start making music just for that hit,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, like that first hit of, not the hit of a song, but the hit of attention.
Yeah.
Like when you do your first show.
They want people
you
to
know-
see that they rap. Right?
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
If you're sick, you want people to know you're sick.
Right, or even if you're not though, because even like your first show, right? Like your family and your friends are
Yeah,
gonna,
yeah.
especially if you're doing it with your friends, which you most likely are. So that means their families kind of know your families too. Yeah, they're gonna pull up, and it's gonna be a little, it's a little rush. It's a little rush.
I mean, there's kind of like I don't know how to say like a narrative, but so a lot of people say that people that do music, bro, like honestly, they did it to kind of get in the spotlight, bro.
Right.
Like, I kind of feel like they wanted to show that they're good, and their plan,
That-
the goal, the objective is to do it in front of so many people, and they all
Yeah,
tell you
anyways.
how good you are and shit.
Yeah, that's the plan, anyways, right? That's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
and literally to get in front of the most people,
Yeah. Don't be scared,
right? Yeah, but no, it's also an easy route too, right? It's like the quickest. It's not an easy route, but it's the quickest access to attention. I feel like though it's the simplest choice, right? Like, cause nobody's gonna,
Yeah.
no casual people or not, like, it's rare that the homie's just gonna decide one day, I'm just gonna hop on a comedy stage and I'm just gonna shoot my little 5 minutes,
Yeah.
10 minutes, and I'm gonna do it. You're way more likely to hear like, oh, this was making music or beats or
Yeah, no,
or
of
he's
course.
trying to rap.
For sure, man. I definitely think rapping, just in general, like, and if we go way back, I want to say kind of in the halls and that type stuff, like there was like people freestyling already. You get
Yeah.
kind of into the party scene, the kind of younger generation, stuff like that. Like they tend to have like that one homie chilling with them in the background, just rapping, for the whole night, kind of freestyling and shit. It's like with social media, they've kind of made it available to everyone, right?
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with like flooding the market, saturation, or however people want to look at it. A lot of people don't like competition because it obviously means you got to work harder and try harder, and who wants to do that? But in reality, the people that like love to do it, Like they get a kick out of dropping stuff with impact and like, hey, like I know there's 30 other dope people, but for this split moment, I got this moment.
That applies to the show, like you're saying for the live show, like that. You really, that's really the moment where you get to impact people, or even like as far as a song.
Yeah, no, well, definitely the show you get to be more intimate with the crowd and stuff like that, But I think sometimes when you make a song and you're able to kind of get a wave and that type of stuff, it really kind of just adds to the idea of, hey, this is my work. This is kind of what it's saying. This is what I represent. And when you see people agree with the way you think, the way you feel, kind of the way you're pushing things, it kind of makes you feel more powerful about standing into your own right, and everyone deals with that type of stuff on like differently as far as sticking to your beliefs, appealing to a more to a bigger market, because there's plenty of people who will, and I say this with like, I guess with the butter spoon, for lack of better terms, is basically there are people that fake it till they make it, right? And I'm not saying how to do nothing. Like everyone's trying to figure it out, but for the most part, when you're pushing like an image, and you're hoping that this image is what they accept you for, in reality, no one person is stagnant forever.
Yeah.
Like your personality and your mindset, it changes. It's situational. Right. I've known people that said, hey, today I'm doing this. All this crazy shit happened that night. Tomorrow I'm doing this. They switched it up.
Yeah.
And it's...
Even day to day or week to week is interesting, but also just like time is it's gonna change you, like even, you're gonna do something different or read something different.
So when you agree, because ultimately, like when you get into music, you're basically looking to build a character.
Yeah.
Right? Because it can either be the real you, like a kind of like a stem of who you are. But in reality, once you get to a certain, let's just say if you do build enough motion, once you get to a certain level, you stop allowing access to really who you are. You kind of just give people what they want at that point.
Right.
Because at this point, you're in a service. I want to say, before I started doing music, I was in the food industry for a long time, right? And the food industry is basically like a service. As hungry as people are, is as much as you're gonna work, And so if people are, completely starving at the 10 minutes under your shift, like you're about to finish the whole 10 minutes of your shift, And music's kind of the same way. Like there's never really just like a end game unless you retire one day.
Right.
But really, like you drop a project creates impact. Well, you have about 2-3 days to enjoy kind of what just happened, and you really got to kind of be, and that's assuming that you're looking to push. Ultimately, I feel like independent artists, they're gonna get most of their money, their funds from monetizing. So, when you're big time and you're mainstream, which, I don't have the experience with, but, obviously they're getting paid by the labels and those types of things.
Yeah.
But when you're on an independent level, the majority of what you're getting back, right? Because you're not necessarily, it's not that you're not getting paid for music, but it's just that you're having to create a brand, put motion, and ask for support. So it's like, as an independent artist, when you start to kind of do your merch, that's really the only way that you're going to be eating,
Yeah, that's really like when you...
Because even the independent tours, well, a lot of them are self-funded. So people are breaking even at the end of the tour. And not that it's a bad thing or anything, but it's just like, you got to think of it like you just put 30 days into neither. You got exposure, so, some of the marketing and stuff like that, but you didn't really make any profit.
Yeah, you kind of broke even.
Yeah.
Which I guess, but then that would be...
Well, it would basically, if you're doing it to try to stack, you basically just wasted like about a month,
Yeah. Well, then I guess there's good footage and it's good, like you said.
Yeah, so that's why in those
exposure.
moments, you got to be able to capitalize on what you can get from it, and you got to squeeze the value.
Which makes it more expensive too, because then that means you got a cameraman that's rolling with you on show to show, hotel. But that's like not even optional nowadays. Like any type of tour, the whole thing has to be vlog, well, for the most part, as far as as your
musicians that are going deeper into it are definitely getting full-time media crews. Definitely, like
editing that night.
It's not so much about the music really anymore. It's really how you're living. Like what are you doing? How you handling stuff? Who you got beef with?
It's an experience too. It's because that's why we like it, right? Because we get to experience that that day with them, that moment with them, those pieces of content where it's moving. Oh, he's here, and then
Yeah.
boom, then, getting to the show, or the show looked like this. Which, I mean, that's like it what's what I tripped out on. Like, I had this moment where we're talking about content and videos and everything, and I was like, oh, holy shit, bro. Like, it's literally also just documenting, bro.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, it's the same thing as those pictures that we look back at as fucking kids or teenagers or on the sports team. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
like, look at this shit, dog. Like, I can't believe this was fucking, like, damn, this is me. Like, fuck, I remember this fool, and I was on the team and this and that. But in content, you're literally documenting your career in full time too.
No,
bro.
yeah,
in,
for
in,
sure,
in
for
motion,
sure. Yeah.
in motion with you, where you're going here and going there. So it's kind of interesting too how it's like that's something you're gonna want anyway. Like you need I mean, who doesn't want to have a documentary, right?
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
Every fucking documentaries are the best. I think they're like the best thing to watch. I mean, movies are incredible too, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But documentaries, something about a
No,
doc,
for sure.
it hits different.
Definitely
It
when you
hits
get to see
different.
like the inside of like kind of what people did, kind of decisions they faced,
Right.
when it was time to make a make or break situation. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And you hear some of these stories, it definitely I think inspires a lot of people to kind of keep going and doing whatever they're trying to do. Because you kind of hear a story. It just seems like, man, like he was gonna get there no matter what. Like,
Right.
you know?
And you see a little bit of that in yourself too.
Yeah, for sure.
Like Genius.
Yeah.
Kanye's documentary on Netflix.
I haven't seen it.
You
I haven't seen it.
You gotta watch that.
But I love Kanye, bro.
Yeah, that's all his background. Like it's
Yeah.
where right when he's trying to pop off, when he's making college, the college dropout.
Classic.
It's right there, and
College
he's like
Dropout,
living
classic album.
in New Jersey or something, and just driving to New York all the time. It's incredible. It's incredible. It was also like it was so old when it dropped. It dropped whatever 2-3 years ago. That footage was the footage was really old when it dropped. So so it was even harder to see him now after all the crazy shit and all the fucking the antics that he really became when and comparing him to that just a kid trying to break into the industry, like making beats for people.
Like just on a side note, one of my influences, I guess, early on, I was really into Kanye West. Like when he first came out, the College Dropout and stuff like that. Like I was so deep into it, and I want to say like when you're growing up, and I'm talking young here. So when College Dropout comes out, when is this? It's probably like 2003.
Like 05, right?
05, all right. So around that time, right? So I'm probably like in 8th grade. I mean, you probably figure out my age, but I'm like 8th grade, fucking going into high school around that time.
Right.
And shit. And,
yeah.
I was just deep into it, and he actually has a track at the end of that album called Last Call. So you get the chance to listen to Last Call. It's actually just up front. He's, him and Jay-Z are doing like a toast. They basically toast to Rockefeller, everything they overcame. They, fucking Kanye survived and all that shit.
He got
right?
the cosign.
Yeah, he got the cosign pretty much.
cosign.
He spent his he spent his fucking life as a producer, and then he got the cosign as a rapper.
Yeah.
From the biggest rapper at the time and shit.
Which is exactly who he wanted the cosign from.
Yeah. That's why he busted his ass. It's crazy that they beef a lot now, but
yeah.
So at the end of that song, fucking, he just talks about his whole story, about everything he went through, about how he met fucking Dame Dash. Obviously him and Jay-Z didn't get along towards the end and stuff like that. And it was pretty fucking like he had a lot of opportunities where I felt he could have just walked away. But everyone has their own opinion on him. I feel like he's a fucking genius.
Well, I mean, I think that's undeniable. You could even say he's an idiot and still have to say, but he's a genius.
Yeah.
I mean,
you got to be smart to make $1 billion, bro.
And you gotta even be smart just to make a song that he made, bro. Because I mean, it's crazy that this who could drop as many bad albums as he wants, and you still can't question his catalog.
Yeah.
Not to say that he's dropped any bad albums or a lot of bad albums. Some of them are probably okay at best.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to Vultures. Maybe it's awesome. But
no, but
the rest of his catalog
I understand what you're saying. Is that
bro.
He has enough music that has been like crazy impact that even the stuff that people might not feel is that impactful.
Yeah.
You're still gonna look at the genius of things.
Yeah. Can we look at his catalog? Kanye's catalog. Yeah, because even shit like what's the one like late registration. That one's kind of like slept on, right? Like it doesn't have anything that's.
Yeah, that's the one with like Drive Slow.
Yeah, I guess that's super hit,
classic,
right?
banger.
His albums.
It's cool. I pack it.
Yeah, of course, bro. Wait, I got some of this right here too. If you want to try this,
What is that?
that's the Zangria, the Za.
All right.
Yeah, we'll smoke a little bit of that too. Yeah, right. Yeah, cause
But yeah, I was deep into the Kanye College Dropout album for a long
Yeah.
time. I want to say a lot of tracks are still on my playlist. Some songs just to kind of note.
yeah,
Spaceship, one of my favorite
of
tracks.
course. I mean, Jesus Walks is like
Pretty dope.
right.
Get
I
'em
mean,
hot-
it
get 'em-
changed. It essentially, there's an argument that that's the most impactful rap song in history, right? Is that a stretch?
I think if you listen to it and the time it dropped, and the
Right,
fact that no one was
right.
doing shit like that,
Not
like,
at all.
definitely fucking impactful, you know? Yeah, he had a cool little run. I feel like the album came out right around the time hip hop was transitioning. You
Yeah.
know? So
He led the transition, right?
yeah, of course, man. Definitely. It's important though to kind of keep going. Like I want to say, there's a lot of opportunities to kind of stay in your realm and stuff like that, but definitely he's wide variety of things.
Right, because he kept growing and growing. As far as the type of music he was making and the shit he was doing.
Yeah.
Do you think it's possible that how much he actually was chasing this creativity and like the like I need to make different shit, I need to make new shit. Do you think that maybe contributed to him going like a little bit like kind of going off the rocker in a sense?
All right, when you say going off the rocker, you referring to like the way he talks?
I mean, he like talks a lot. Now I feel like it's weird. Like he talks a lot of shit about people.
Well,
like
he's disrespectful for sure.
Yeah, right.
For sure,
like
was
that.
like,
And I don't think that was the case as far as I mean, like he'll confront you about a music video about art, but now it seems like he's just straight dissing people, and it's kind of like nobody even cares that he's dissing. Like I think during the whole beef, what didn't he like diss J. Cole during the whole Kendrick? And,
yeah.
And I think he did like
I feel like he's looking for someone to kind of go up with, you know?
Yeah.
He kind of seen what it did for Kendrick and fucking. He's definitely looking to kind of reenact that somehow, some way, you know? Even to the point where I want to feel like early on he was really like against a lot of the Drake stuff, and to the point where right now he's just saying like, hey, I side with you, man. I understand what you're going through. You can just kind of tell he's just kind of like, all right, well, they didn't pick me up to help me beat up, you know, because he wanted to get recruited to help beat up Drake and shit. I don't know the whole story, dog. I'm not messing on them, but that's what the story's out there. Is
that was signed up for the draft.
Dog, supposedly they called him. They said, "Hey, whoop-de-woo, like let's get you on the remix." He was all over it. Had it sent right away.
Yeah.
They sent it, and then they took the song down because I guess Future and Metro is not feeling whatever.
Yeah, they weren't feeling the
since
verse.
they didn't rock with his shit, now he's just like, man, like, well, fuck you guys. And, you know,
he's just floating.
Yeah, he's
like back to the Bully album.
But I think he'll get someone, bro. I think right now, and I'm not too much into the music beef and stuff like that, but I feel like him and Cardi will probably go at it. I don't know if you know too much about Playboy Cardi, but they recently kind of getting into it and shit like that. And I kind of feel like Kanye's just someone you don't want to like. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to say like, all right, bro, like let's match up, because I feel like he's just like he's willing to do the shit that you wouldn't do.
Yeah, for sure.
He don't give a fuck if his shit burns down, because
he's already been burning it down.
And I feel like he knows how to do it twice. Like the other guy might not be smart enough to do it twice.
As far as losing everything and then building it back up.
Yeah, of course.
Which is crazy too, huh? Like I mean, I guess like Drake, he didn't get dissed by one person. Or like everybody fucking jumped in. Or they saw their moment and fucking
Yeah.
Rick Ross did a song. Who else? I know. A few.
Hey, but you know what, bro? Like
ASAP Rocky too, right?
It is what it is, man. Like I feel like when you get to the top, and he was kind of talking a bit cocky too. So
absolutely.
I can understand like when you came up like saying like because every rapper thinks they're the best. Like I think that's just like a given. Like when you're coming up, you think you're nice.
Yeah.
Even if you don't want to say it, like people be like, you think you're nice? You'd be all shy like, oh, I don't know, but deep down you do think you're nice. Otherwise you wouldn't fucking do it. And I just kind of see, Drake kind of just blow up. I guess, right? Ran the game for a long time, worldwide.
And he did have that argument that he was the best, too.
International star, had more hits than Michael Jackson. Fucking, just gross,
on, yeah.
like the touring gross money. Like the income was just there. Most streamed artists. Like just so much fucking shit that he's fucking done,
Yeah, made the song. All the girls loved his songs too. Like made constant.
Yeah.
Party.
I mean,
party
and
anthems.
that's what it was. Is that he definitely was able to expand his market. He sings, not a lot of rappers sing, and it's tough because rappers have such like a machismo, kind of like a character, like an ego.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, like they kind of like want to corner in, like, you got to be kind of down, more hood to kind of like be kind of accepted by us and shit like that. But in reality, bro, like when you get out of the label of a rapper, you the goal would be to become a musician, like an artist, someone that's multifaceted and stuff like that. Like
Exactly. Be
and,
a little bit.
and I'm not saying like, all the gangster rappers need to pull up and fucking bust out in like some like house music and shit. I'm just saying that you want to expand, you want to be as big as Drake, and you want to fucking blow up and shit like that. Like you definitely gotta touch on things you've never done before. I mean, I feel like Drake,
Right.
he did the collaboration with Bad Bunny, that song Mia. I feel like that song's like a worldwide hit, bro. That shit has like over, I forgot what the fucking numbers were, bro, but we're
It's a
talking
big
like
number.
it's just relatable in different countries. Like I couldn't imagine people that don't know English bumping my shit.
Right.
You
Right.
know? And these people might not know the language or things like that, but his music is playing in countries like
Yeah.
continents, bro. Greece, Australia, fucking Canada.
Which, of course, he also was that guy in the beginning too, though, right? Like he was making those songs for like love songs and shit like that.
Yeah, no, I mean he had a cool run. I think he had a great team behind him for sure. Kind of in the building of who he was. I think he worked with the right people. He made a lot of big decisions that benefited him, and
Right at the right time.
at the
too.
right time, and when you're like people see his cockiness and stuff like that, but you've also got to look at the humility of this guy. And I really feel like when the moment came, he was never too big for other artists. I feel like when he felt like, hey, you know what, me and this other artist collaboration is a bigger thing. Even when him and Kanye made up, there was real no reason to go and do that shit, but he did it because the two artists together were gonna, it was gonna be like an impactful thing for the world.
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah,
like
for the
that,
whole culture and shit.
Yeah,
that
so
shit didn't last at all, huh?
It didn't last too long, but
they
just
did the whole Coliseum show.
Yeah, just the idea that he was basically like, as cocky as he is, he was always willing to give the fans what they want, kind
Right.
of give the crowd
Yeah,
what they want, shit
yeah.
like that. So fucking, even though they don't fuck with him out here, like shout out, you know what I mean? He's cool, dog.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's really weird too. It's really weird because I don't know. It's never been such a big deal as it was this time. Like every other rap beef, I don't know. It never really felt like we were involved.
Yeah.
This one really felt like we were involved because it was somebody from the coast,
Yeah.
Let alone the coast, from the lows. There was somebody really right here that we held in deep regard too.
Yeah.
And this was grimy too, bro. Drake, like there's no boundaries with him neither. Like he name dropped Pusha T's wife, like her first and last name. Like, that's crazy. Like that's
fucking crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy, bro.
I mean, he's definitely sassy. You know what I'm saying? One thing you can say about him, he definitely got a little like, pizza box to him and shit. Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah, for sure that.
But fucking, it
So-
is what it is, bro. I feel like because he pampers himself and he does the whole like royal elegant type shit, like that's what
He
you're
was
gonna,
easy target for it too, bro.
But I feel like it's only natural for humans to like dig too deep into themselves and at times fucking get full of themselves,
Right.
So, I mean,
especially when you're that.
when you're that big. I didn't
yeah.
see him to like be fucking above it or anything like that. Like, I feel like most artists that get that big rarely aren't. Look at Mariah Carey, international superstar. You don't really hear great things,
Yeah.
as far as like
As-
experience meeting them and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like there's a
yeah.
lot of people.
As far as a person.
You know what I mean? Like most of them not even giving. I don't know. I'm not gonna get too deep because I'm not them, but just.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's also like it's not a stretch for you to say that neither. It's like there's definitely a history. I would even say documented history of people being like that, which now just in this moment it just makes me think too. It could also be that people want to meet them so much, they're so like, oh, like what the fuck is this that. Like they're like, damn, like they can't handle it. They can't compartmentalize it. It'll be like all right, like I could deal with it, or
Yeah.
or I mean, also too, you could probably like like develop yourself to be able to deal with it a little bit better, right? Like a skill and shit, like to not be an asshole to fans or people you meet
Yeah.
or get a little bit ahead of yourself.
Like you know who I think is really good with the fans. And this is just from seeing it, but Chris Brown, bro. I feel like he has a way of keeping his fucking fans on lock, bro. That shit is funny, man.
He's real good with the fans.
Yeah, man. But that's cool. I mean, I think it's important. Like if you get up to that type of level,
Yeah, for sure.
to definitely give back to the people that kind of got you there. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
Well, that's part of the whole reason to
yeah,
do it,
because
right?
an artist can't do shit without his fans. Like,
Yeah.
you can't even your ideas. It can be pretty tough. You know, like you want to show people stuff like that are want to watch it. You know.
Well, I mean, that's the thing that's weird too about the content, right? It's like nobody goes there to watch one thing,
Yeah.
right? Like unless you're somebody making music or like somebody involved in something very specific, like everybody's fucking algorithms are kind of all over the place.
Yeah, my algorithm's fucking crazy, dog.
Yeah, right. You know, for most people, they're not gonna. How willing are they to find music on a platform?
Yeah, and you know, and what's tricky about as far as like posting on social media, you know, and I know we keep going back to it, but that's pretty much what it is now, right? Social
Right,
media.
right.
And you might even get as far as to say like social media is even slightly dying down at this point. Like as far as like, and this is what I've noticed. Like I kind of feel like when social media first started highlighting a lot of these people, you kind of got like a lot more positive connotation, more like, hey, you know, that's just tired. This is more hype and this stuff like that.
Yeah.
And and it could do a lot with the market being more saturated. Obviously, more content creators.
For sure.
You know, and unfortunately, because everyone wants to try it on their own, there's more amateur quality that's being posted, right? And because of that, you know, people are okay with shortcutting things, you know, and
So it's kind of just like it's fucking up the whole system, the whole ecosystem right now.
well, I mean, I just kind of feel like social media might not be as effective as it once was.
Right. Well,
You know?
definitely not for the people that are willing to. Well, I mean, definitely not.
Because even now, like the people I feel like, you know, content creators with big followings and things like that, like they got to a certain point of being so big that mostly they receive hate. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
when you're coming up, it's cool, all right, follow whatever. But at some point, you're so big, and I look at some of these comments and shit, and just you know, people are
not-
letting them have it. Like they
Yeah,
telling
for
you to
sure.
go jump off a fucking bridge and stop doing
Yeah.
what you're doing, and
Why even follow them if they upset you that much?
yeah,
right?
but they're there like clockwork, you know,
Yeah.
having a comment and
No, yeah, that's
say
not
some shit.
that's
you know?
not good at all.
So
for
so
them.
that's why I feel like social media is starting to die out.
Yeah, it's
And-
definitely changing, right? It's because
Yeah.
I think also too maybe not really, but I mean I guess it'd be like, oh, it's cool. Like, nah, I don't do socials, bro. Like it's a power statement, bro. Like,
Yeah,
oh, you're
yeah.
on IG. Like, nah, I'm not on nothing. You know, like it's a bold move.
Yeah.
You know, also, right? Like I don't know if that's a part of it, but I
I
I
mean,
could see the appeal in it. I could see the
for
appeal in
sure.
it.
I feel like if you weren't to have social media, definitely you would get a lot more shit done.
Right.
And only because there is no direction or even, I guess, concept of what to do to gain what you're trying to do. So it's like even if you were to make content, even if you were to be pushing consistently and all that stuff, like you might not necessarily even be attracting what you need to attract because this
Right.
content is different from that content.
And you don't even know it's gonna work
And
until it works.
and-
is that like what you is that what you
yeah,
mean in a sense?
and unfortunately, like people that are just kind of putting themselves out there, you know, they tend to like just kind of mix their content with a little bit of everything. And not that it's a bad thing, you know, because we're people, like we're situational, things change and things like that. But it's just you got to kind of look at people's pages as like a set thing. Hey, this person's page is a fucking food page. So
Right,
when I
right.
come here, I just want fucking food. You know, this person is a fucking firefighter. So when
Yeah.
I come here, I just want firefighter shit. You know, and,
Yeah, this person does sports betting,
and it's
and that's
and,
it.
and it's tough because you know we are normal people and shit. So we're on there, we're fucking putting our experiences. We're kind of like letting them watch our shit. But if you're looking at it from like a marketing point of view, most of
got-
that shit they don't fucking.
Yeah.
You know, our friends or family, they all
For
right,
sure.
cool. But you're trying to gain followers of fucking strangers. Strangers are not worried about shit other than what they want from your page.
Unless they're really invested.
Yeah.
Unless they're, like,
And
a
at this
serious
point,
fan.
they're a fan. Like they're a
Yeah,
fan.
super
Oh,
fan,
this
yeah.
motherfucker was in Egypt playing tennis and shit. You
Yeah,
know?
now I want to watch watch everything.
And
right?
that does happen too. People gain such like I want to say there's a few pages where the interest has come along and I'm fucking on their page.
See
Well, it
what's
kind of
up.
just pops up and shit, you know. But so I mean, I kind of feel like there are once you get to a certain level of social media, it needs to become a set thing.
Right.
You know, you got to
Yeah,
kind
I
of
could
stop.
see that
You got
for
to
sure.
stop growing your character, because in reality, a lot of these musicians, their character never ages, bro. Like, you know, for example, like, and I'm not here to rip on anyone's age and shit, but I'm old myself and shit. I won't say my age, but fucking just the idea, like, there's a lot of people that they're still singing songs they made 40, 50 years ago.
Yeah.
40,
Yeah,
50 years
absolutely.
ago. Their character is still the same, according to the people. But in
Yeah,
reality,
they're still there for that.
in reality, that person might be different now. They might be a fucking crab now. They might like, you know, they've been through so
Yeah,
much shit.
yeah.
They completely different as
Absolutely.
a person.
It's crazy, huh?
But
How old was Brenton Wood when he passed away? And when was his last show? I mean, he was still up there, right?
yeah,
He was still up, which is that's
still
crazy,
on stage.
bro.
I think he
He's
did like a festival before he passed.
performing fucking, the third. And from Louisiana to Moreno Valley, huh? Imagine you think anybody knew who he was? Like his neighbors and shit? Living in Moreno Valley? Nah, he probably had a nice house.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's wild. When was his last show? Like what? Ugum Bugum, what does that say? 57 or 67? 67. Crazy. Almost 60 years old.
But yeah, like, you know, and even if you were to look at like let's just say someone like Usher, right? You know, his whole thing right now has been working, and I'm not saying his age or nothing. You know, you can be I guess they call him Silver Fox. You know, when you're doing good in your later years and shit.
Mhm.
But it's like, when he's 70, he's still gonna be doing the same shit. Maybe,
Right,
dog,
right.
because of the
Yeah.
character. That's who Usher is to the people and
Right.
shit. You know.
Yeah, he's not gonna. He can't.
He
come
can't.
out
He
and
can't really. He can't one day just like
Drop
stop trying to be like a
R&B,
smooth guy.
yeah,
you know,
yeah, yeah.
like
R&B
the
singer.
people wouldn't accept it. I think, dog.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right. Yeah, so that's why there's also a very good argument to start doing that shit as early as possible, as far as branching out and trying to make other, different sounding shit, and that's for true artists. That is part of the appeal of it too, right? Like to be able to find like something new, like oh shit, I didn't even know I could make this or sound some
push
shit.
your limit, man.
Yeah,
See
right.
What you can do.
But then it's also harder to do that when you're early. Well, I mean, I guess which is it, right? It's hard to do that early unless you're really bold too, though, right? Because early in your career, if people they hear this and it goes wow, it's like a lot of them are gonna want to hear that again.
Here's what's unfortunate, bro, is that I feel like when you start to pick up on a lot of things, bro, years have passed. Your experience has passed. So much time has gone already in learning.
Right.
And not that it's a bad thing or anything like that, like, but there just to say, there's young people that catch a good momentum spot, right? And you kind of see them start to kind of like fade out as the time goes and stuff like that, bro. But the thing is that when you learn everything, I don't know if there's necessarily an age to do it, but the important thing is that when you have the information that you need, is to just go all out and do it, bro. You know, and it's just yeah. I mean, I just feel like it's pretty tough because when you start, you don't know shit. You know, even some of the bigger artists, like some of the young people that blow up, they might have blown up, but they didn't know shit about business. They signed a dumbass deal. And you won't hear about them.
Right.
You know,
Not
they're gonna be in debt for $10 million. No one's gonna hear that.
Yeah.
Story,
Yeah, and not only did they know how to handle it, but they were also like just immature too. Like because you could. Well, I guess is there such thing as a mature 24-year-old, 21-year-old, 19-year-old, 18-year-old? Not somebody that came up from the struggle, right? And just found success like that.
Right.
Most of the time they're gonna be a turn to a person.
Yeah.
As far as like how they came up moving like this and like that. Because that's how they build that character too. Like especially like that wave, right? Like the Florida wave, Pump and Smoke Perp, Kodak Black.
some fire little wave.
X Tentacion. Who else is from there?
Yeah.
Is Ski Mask? I think Ski Mask. Where's Ski Mask from? I think he's from Florida. I don't know if he's from Florida, but all them had a very distinct look, even though they all looked the same.
Yeah.
As far as each other, but yeah, they were really he's from Florida too. Really distinct look.
Man, all those people you just named right now, I didn't even know that was all Florida.
Yeah.
Playing right now.
Crazy, right? Yeah,
that's kind of cool, man.
Yeah, that's a wave right there, bro. That's crazy. I mean, but it didn't turn out too well for like Pump and Smoke Perp, right?
Yeah.
I think maybe Ski Mask probably still holding up, and
Kodak for sure still.
For
doing
Kodak
his thing,
still
bro.
he's still moving.
Legend.
At least because he's a super character though too, right?
He was a fucking superstar, that guy. Bro.
Yeah.
For sure.
You can't make another Kodak Black, that's for sure. He even though like he got involved in other things though too, right? Like very vocal about his support for Trump and shit like that.
Oh yeah, man. Man, without being too political, bro, I don't judge anybody on their beliefs or opinions.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like it's important, especially nowadays, to be able to disagree with people and still maintain a type of
Right.
I guess being civil.
Yeah,
right?
it might be the most important thing to be able to do.
As far as like his support, I feel like a lot of these people, when it comes to support for Trump, I think that people look at Trump as kind of like a superstar. They're more
Right.
fans of who he is
Than
and
voters.
what he represents, in a sense of like they're willing to protect his image and his name,
Yeah.
right? Even if it's like
Kind of build him up a little bit
they don't
in
want
their
no
own
one.
minds.
And as long as they have a poster boy to kind of cling on to, like, hey, my way of thinking is amplified through the now president of the United
Right.
States, that means that I'm also a superior thinker. What I'm saying?
Right.
Which might not necessarily be the case, right? But, bro, I'm just...
Sometimes it is,
Yeah.
but then also, right? Like, how much different is that from just an artist that is popular, right?
Right,
Because somebody
right.
gravitates to him, like, oh, this guy, he speaks for me, or he
Yeah.
thinks like me, or
And I feel
I
like-
relate to him. So now I support him. I'm gonna buy
Yeah,
his merch. I'm gonna
I
go
feel
to his
like-
shows and shit.
I feel like Trump really capitalized off of whatever he was trying to do with his he talks a lot, bro. Like,
Yeah,
he's consistently putting his opinion and kind of updating you on how he sees things.
for sure,
And
for sure.
he kind of picks and chooses what he's telling you, but he just makes sure that whatever he's telling you,
It
is
hits.
a positive thing on his
Yeah,
life, right?
yeah, and
You know,
it's impactful too, right?
And I feel like and this is my opinion, bro. I feel like he's probably one of the best businessmen in the game. He has he's created big ass fucking companies. He had a show called what was it The Apprentice?
Yeah.
Closer, I forgot what it was called. But anyway, I look at him as a fucking salesman. Bro.
And then he
Go with that
became
story.
a president
Yeah,
twice, bro.
I'm like,
I mean,
bro, for you to be on a TV show and talk your way up to the presidential seat in the White House, like you were a top tier tongue, bro. So
yeah,
however people may feel about him, I just kind of look at him like he's a big salesman, and whatever he's trying to sell,
you got the game.
you could only
you got
hope
the
it
game,
comes
bro.
through, dog.
Yeah.
You could only hope it is what it is. But we'll see. 'Cause there's a lot of shit in the air with
Yeah, for sure.
for
Oh, I
sure.
mean, it's also like it's definitely not that deep neither. As far as like, it's not. I mean, if I voted for I guess a governor's not a good team. It's the same shit as like sports, right? It's like it's just fun to be a part of a team.
Yeah.
It's fun to rep your shit.
That's
It's
how I feel about it. I feel
Yeah,
like
this is just fun to talk
that's
shit
how they
to.
look at it, because there's people I see like they be trying to bait people into their shit. Like,
Yeah,
and
they're
I'm
trying
like-
to they're trying
I'm
to
like-
sell it.
I'm like, bro, like, I don't know, but I just hope America's cool.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, that's definitely not optional because
the
I
other-
live here, so I definitely
yeah.
don't hope America
We live
becomes
here, dog,
worse.
and
Yeah.
if anything happens, dog, I just hope like everyone, whether you fuck with America or not, is like ready to kind of handle shit, bro. Like,
Right.
and this might be far off thinking and shit, but I always tell myself, bro, like, if that shit comes here, bro, like, you have kind of no option but to, unless you
Yeah.
don't want to, then you don't have to. But
It's not gonna end well for you anyway.
yeah, they already here.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So Yeah, go America for sure.
Always that, no? So yeah, hell yeah, that's cool. That's different. I wouldn't expected it, you know.
Yeah.
I'm sure even when we were shooting your video a couple of months ago, I'm like, what it couldn't have predicted this.
Yeah, you know what, bro? Like, I'll be honest. Like, you, I kind of feel, social media people. There's a lot of back and forth, right? But one thing that it has opened up is definitely just kind of opportunities as far as, if you wanted to. There's nothing that really stops you from just seeing different types of conversation. So I know our first conversation we had spoke about. I think I had reached out to you, right? Because you do a little bit of music and things like that. And originally the conversation was kind of towards that, like, hey, get a little creative session going, kind of see what the vibe was. And my whole thought process on that is just that, kind of like going into just working with people in general, right? Like I'm in a point, bro, where you want to create the best thing you can probably create,
Right.
And I'm may like what I like, but it's important to have other perspectives in the room.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, like, people will talk about, like, oh, this guy does everything. He's like a Russ type, right? Russ does a lot. Fucking produces, record all that shit. He does
Mixes,
his marketing campaigns.
Yeah.
He throw a little shit, dog.
The whole fucking 9 yards, huh?
But
Instead of the whole 9 yards, we gotta say the whole 12 tamales.
yeah, the whole 12 tamales, fool. Fucking, but it's important to just kind of be in a room of people that know what something good sounds like, and a lot can help, bro. Like, there's people that they might not be artists per se, and I mean that just on a performance level, but they're in big time sessions having their fucking 2 cents.
Right,
and,
right.
And when you get up there, they're getting a piece of the pie.
Yeah,
they got a little credit. They're getting buzzed down, And
Hell yeah.
I think if you spend enough time doing this shit, it's important to at least grab $1 from it, bro. Like,
for sure. And that's not something that you would be upset about neither.
No.
If you're just helping out on this song that hits.
No,
that
bro.
You just credit on.
Yeah,
and I
bro.
think also it's a little bit of maturity too, knowing that, like, yo, if I'm really trying to make some shit that's gonna hit, I'm gonna need some people on my team.
Unfortunately, like, the reality of things is there's not really a lot of young ghostwriters, bro, and a lot of times they're older because them as people, they might not feel how they feel on an appeal level as far as visually, right? And everyone's entitled to feel how they want to feel, but sometimes, and I'm an older cat too, dog. So just the idea of putting yourself out there and kind of having to compete,
Be the face of it.
Well, I mean, I feel music. A lot of the upcoming stuff is a young man's game. I feel like there's established artists who are older and do their thing, but it's definitely a younger thing, bro. So as you get older,
which it's always been, anyway,
and the advantage of being older, bro, is really just that you've learned a lot. That if you understand that if you do catch onto something, you know how to legitimize it, and ultimately get your piece of the pie. And I do feel like it's important.
And stay solid.
I feel like it's important to get your piece of the pie. Like, there is, I mean, if you're putting money into it, studio sessions, merch, bunch of shit,
time,
find a way to get something back, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you gotta wake up and go hit LA, whatever they be doing, the little, 300 flip, whatever, go get your little merch run, bro. 12 fucking outfits, bro. I promise you, if you are pushing yourself and people like your shit, it's gonna sell, bro. It's just, you just gotta kind of dive into that part of things,
Yeah, because they're not optional neither, right? That's like the first thing that people want to, right? They want to wear that. They want to wear that fucking flag. They want to rock that. They want to be a part of whatever it is you're selling and whatever thing you're moving.
Yeah, I mean, at least if you look like you are pushing it, and it, because people are not gonna fuck with it if it doesn't look like you're putting time and effort.
Right. If you're just coming around every now and then and dropping a song and just being like, oh, when I want and when
So just to kind of backtrack before I lose track of it, the whole thing about the ghostwriter and thing like that, just kind of like the older people, they tend to kind of be in the background, and they definitely are getting a piece of the pie still. Some of the bigger songs you've heard were written by other people, and the crazier one that I think is pretty crazy that you wouldn't really think about is, like, some of these girl rappers have guys writing for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like Lil Yachty, he does quite a bit of female rappers' tracks.
Yeah, like
we're talking,
Glorilla and all, and Lotto and all of that.
We're talking fucking hits, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, And I mean, it just goes to show you, bro. Like, you just gotta kind of find your niche, right?
Yeah.
And if you're rapping and if you choose to be an artist, I'm assuming it's because you like the adrenaline of performing, and that's what you're looking for, you know? Because I feel like every artist wants a fucking fat ass crowd. They want to rock the fuck out of it, and whatever fucking energy comes from that is something that's gonna build up, you know? The really good ones, they're so consistent with it that they can recreate that on point, like. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of independent artists, they're working their stage presence. They don't have enough. I don't want to say funds, you know, but their shows aren't packed with the pyrotechnics and that type shit. So they gotta kind of find a way. You know what I'm saying?
They gotta get more of themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless like
So
another
you
thing,
gotta love to perform. If you don't like to
Yeah.
perform, bro, like it's gonna be hard to sell tickets or at least create shows
to
where
do
people
anything.
you know.
Yeah, unless the only other thing an artist could look for would be just that creativity, like in the room, in that moment.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Like, you know, if they're not about like I mean, fuck, a good shows are incredible, bro. Doing a show is fucking awesome. Doing a show that goes well is fucking euphoric.
That's one of the sickest things. I feel like
There's nothing like it. Yeah.
When the stage is rocking with you, bro, and you killing your shit, like. That's why I feel most rappers do it. You know what I'm saying? Your little chance at the 5 seconds of fame and shit.
But the creativity in the room, especially when it's with the right people too, and when shit's happening, like that shit's euphoric too.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
making a song, getting a
a
bar off, or even when you're writing and like, oh, you find
that's that
like,
raw human experience that you can't really duplicate. That connection when it's like you're killing shit, they fucking with your shit. Like, in that one moment, you have total control of the whole entire fucking spot.
Human to human.
You know, and it's just like I think it's just a kind of like a self-fulfilling type shit, you know?
And it's all just back to connection.
And if you get enough money, some people just throw that money back into their show so they can throw an even fucking crazier show.
Yeah.
You know,
which is smarter anyway.
The bigger artists are flying on Lambos and fucking jumping out of fucking helicopters.
Dude, that ASAP Rocky. Can we pull some ASAP Rocky? Rolling Loud. I think he performed out of a helicopter. Right?
Yeah, see that, and that's nuts, dog. Because I stay 100% on the ground. Like I don't go in the fucking sky. I don't do the ocean. I'm pretty much leveled on ground, bro. You know, I don't give anything a chance to happen and shit. You know.
Hell yeah.
So when I hear stuff like shit, I'm like, fuck, like, these fools are fucking crazy.
He should have fucking parachuted. that would have been the real fucking. And he hung off and everything. That's wild.
Oh, that's dope. And you know he did it a few times because you got to practice that shit, you know? So he probably spun around a few times and shit.
Crazy. It's got to be stupid uncomfortable, huh?
You know, I've never done that shit, bro. Like, I had... Look, hey, shout out my homie Lalo, but I have this funny-ass experience, bro. My homie's birthday, bro. Right, I'm road dogging, we're chilling, we're kicking it. We end up at a Kings game. We're at a Kings game. The night's going cool, everything's going cool. We have like 12 hours to our appointment, which is in Taft, California at this time, in Los Angeles, California. At the time, the person I was talking to, she actually hits me up. She's like, hey, you know, just, you know, the night's going cool. So I end up over there, bro. Long story short, right? And he tells me right before, too, like, hey, we got to wake you up in the morning. And I'm like, yeah, I got it. You know, it's all confident, bro. And here's the truth. So, Lalo, if you see this shit, fucking, here's the truth.
Oh, he's going to see it now. You're going to have to send it to him.
So, while I'm doing this shit, and this kind of goes into what I was telling you earlier about I don't like to risk anything. I'm one of the safest, like, I make sure I'm going to be cool and shit most of the time. And, I'm just thinking about the worst shit that could happen, bro. Fucking parachute don't open. Fucking plane crashes. Just a lot of bad stuff, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, what if I panic, have a heart attack? I don't know, dog, you know? And just anyway, time comes up. It's like 10 hours later. I'm up. It's like 7 in the morning. I'm up. I have an opportunity to get ready, jump in the car, meet my friend. And, to go jump out of a fucking plane because
he
wants to skydive
for his birthday.
Have you ever go to the spot in Taft? There's actually a location in Taft, California. That's fucking it's pretty dope. It has pretty good reviews, and I think it has the least amount of people that died among all the Southern California spots. So fucking that was a big factor, right? And you pay a down payment, whatever. So I hadn't even paid the deposit, bro. Fucking, here's my money. I'm locked in, bro. I'll never let you down. I got this. Anyway, fucking wake up. In my head, I'm like, I'm not fucking going, bro. Like, don't want to die. And I'm over here. I psych myself out of it, though. He hits me up. Hey, what's up, bro? Straight to voicemail. Never fucking. I texted him later,
Yeah.
but just at the moment I fucking backed out of it. I was like, dig, I'm not gonna jump out of no fucking plane. But you know what? He jumped out of the fucking plane, and it was one of the dopest videos I ever saw.
Yeah.
He had like a little homemade bullshit go down.
And I'm sure
But
he don't regret it.
He lets me know every time he sees me though.
Hell yeah.
Like, you piece of shit, you left me hanging. And I just look at him like, you know what, bro?
So he went by himself?
He ended up going by himself, bro.
Yeah.
Like, well, because it was in the middle of nowhere, fool, so we were supposed to meet out there. I was in Banning. That's where I fucked up, because I started out, we were in the city of LA, and I drove to fucking Banning, which is kind of by Morongo Casino. So it's like, that was quite a bit away from Taft, you know? Taft was more up north. I was more east. And, yeah,
nonetheless, Lalo jumped out of the fucking boat.
Hey, he did.
It kind of makes it cooler for him, though, too.
Hey,
Because then he gets to say he did it by himself on his birthday,
hey, that fool got balls, though.
right? Like, if he was there with you, it would have been a little bit different, too.
I mean, who knows, bro? I probably would have panicked, dog. You know, the instructor, I would have just ran out. Fuck that. Hijacked the helicopter, bro. I'm out.
Yeah, no, that has to be fucking insane, bro. I can't imagine how that feels. I had trouble jumping off a cliff at a park in fucking Cancun last summer. And that shit wasn't high at all. It was probably like 20 feet high, 30 feet high maybe.
You know, I seen this video of this guy. He jumped like a 50-foot drop, died. And I was like, damn. Like, what the? That's why I don't understand people doing that shit. I get the thrill.
Yeah.
Like, all right. But, you know, there's more chance, like, you're going to fuck up. And there's no, like, oh, my bad, restart and shit.
Yeah, there's no.
You know, even if you break
reversing it.
imagine if you break a leg, you don't even gotta die. Like, I think that's even worse if you just break a limb real quick or some side shit. 'Cause now you gotta live like all fucking one arm, one leg and shit.
Nah, it's not worse than dying.
You don't think so?
Nah.
Dog,
I get your argument, but no, it's definitely not worse than dying.
shit.
You just fix and then fuck it.
I've
We
never died, so I
on.
don't know, dog.
You right? I jumped off like 55 feet. Maybe we could find the video on YouTube.
Did you?
Yeah, into a cenote, like in Cancun also.
Oh, see,
But yeah, it was like 300 feet
You should have did the tutorial, bro, and so that fool could have watched it on YouTube. I mean,
Yeah.
nah, rest in peace. I don't wanna
Yeah, no.
knock
It'll
on,
be like
knock on marble.
MIR family page. We might, let's see.
So you be doing crazy shit.
Nah, not no more, bro. I was fucking
Jumping 50 feet is fucking nuts.
Nah, but that was 2015, so I was probably like only 21 years old.
All right.
You could put a family page.
Oh shit, where's that at?
Like by Cancun?
Okay.
Like Playa de Carmen and all that. But yeah, that shit was dope as fuck. So you've never even been on a plane or anything, or you just?
I've been on a plane, bro. Everything that I don't do, I've done. Right. I'm just fucking safe as fuck.
Yeah, I mean
not like I'm probably exaggerating it, bro. I'm not fucking
right.
like super. You know, I'll fly, do all that shit, but just like if I can help it, if I got the choice,
probably
if it
not
was
gonna
up to
get
me,
too involved.
Like I'm not gonna dive in the ocean.
Right.
I'm not gonna jump out of a plane.
So you don't be like driving 95 or anything like that.
No, I drive
neither,
speed
right?
limit.
Right.
I'm on the right lane so I can exit as soon as possible.
Hey.
I kid you not, man.
But I mean, if something were to go down, even if it's a fucking, what are those called? A checkpoint or something, boom, you're gone, bro.
Yeah.
So that's not a bad idea.
I mean, it just helps, you know, because even sometimes, like, you might see traffic in front of you, and if you're, like, 2 lanes over and you got to kind of ski it out, it's too crazy.
Right.
So I avoid a lot of traffic stops. But the one downfall is people do drive slower. And if you're not careful, you're going to, like, daze out behind the driver behind you. So even though he's driving slow, you don't even realize you driving slow because you just think it's normal fucking driving behind this driver, you know? But really, he has, like, thousands of meters in front of him.
And how did that come about? Like thinking like that, what changed that you got into that?
There's not really a real reason, bro. Like I want to say, just one day I decided like I'm not doing that shit.
Right.
You know, and you know, maybe I will like jump into it. I kind of just hype it up and shit, but definitely like if I can avoid it right now, I do. I don't know if it's always gonna be like that. Who knows? You know, maybe when I'm later on in my 70s, I start busting down all this shit, right?
ATV riding and
fucking
shit.
what they call it, street luging off a volcano and shit. Like, see what we can cook up, you know?
What's the other one too? The paragliding. That's fucking.
That's
wickedness.
nuts, bro.
You gotta watch Free Solo then.
Okay.
Alex Honnold. So you could pull up some of his pictures. So climbs El Capitan in Yosemite just with
Okay.
his bare hands.
Oh shit.
Like just.
Have you ever seen The Alpinist
No.
on Netflix?
Nah.
You
Same.
ever come across it?
I've seen the thumbnail for sure.
Okay, so just long story short, it's a pretty crazy story. They follow what they call, I guess, a wild rock climber. What that basically means, there's an actual term for it, but I'm fucking
Right.
making up my own term. Is you basically go up there with no equipment,
Yeah.
right? Kind of some shit like that. What that guy's fucking doing?
Free climbing.
Yeah, damn. See, that shit is like, dog. The reward, is it really worth the fucking risk, dog? At that point, at that point, bro, I would just jump because I would be like, fuck, like.
That's the bro got flicked up right there, huh? Crazy.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
But yeah, not to spoil it though, but in that documentary, The Alpinist, the main star actually doesn't make it through the whole movie.
Yeah.
So that was fucking intense, and they finished the movie like without him and shit. But I'm like, how the fuck?
And was it a documentary or just a?
It's a documentary.
Oh, okay.
So it's a true story. They're filming about this guy. He has a lot of notoriety for being this fucking big time rock climber in the country he's from. He's doing his thing. They go and follow him. They follow him and his girl. They live a rock climbing life. So, I guess what that means, for like lack of better terms and shit, is not a lot of material shit. They live more like in a tent.
Yeah,
but they more free to the earth and shit, right?
Yeah, they invest all their money in being mobile.
Yeah, they do that shit. But that's them though, so they do their thing. Anyway, they're fucking rocking. And the guy starts kind of like, he loved to rock climb so much that it started to bother him that it was having to be filmed. He felt like it was being more like a Hollywood thing at this point.
Right.
So he kept doing little missions throughout the whole fucking movie.
By himself?
His own little side gigs, just doing, let me go buzz this, buzz this, buzz this.
Side quest?
At some point, him and some dude, they hype each other up to do some crazy shit. And that was it.
While the movie's being filmed?
While it was being filmed.
Crazy.
And they finished with his girlfriend and shit. But I was like, damn, why don't you just end it? Like, I would have fucking just ended it, But they went through the whole shit.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, they had to have asked her too, right? Like, okay.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Can we keep going or should we end this?
Either
this
that or they signed
documentary?
a contract early on and they didn't have to say so.
Damn, which that's cold as fuck, right?
It can go either way, bro.
Yeah, that's fucked up though.
They've been like, he
Like,
was
nope, you're under contract.
He was never supposed to leave set,
I mean, that's a part of that.
You
That's definitely a part of.
I think you have some type of responsibility of staying.
Yeah. Oh, look,
around.
Alex Honnold's in it too.
Oh, you seen this? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's.
Oh, that's the guy you were talking about?
Yeah, he's the guy in the other one in the free solo.
Yeah, so all the people they talk are like premier fucking climber
Right.
guys.
Yeah. They're the top guys for sure.
We should check it out sometimes. Cool.
Yeah. No, we'll tap in. You really don't hear about the guys that didn't become the best in that fucking sport, right?
Right.
That means they fucking died.
Yeah.
Which is.
But that's what I'm saying. Like a hobby like that,
Yeah.
I couldn't really dive into too much,
Nah, well, I mean, I don't know how. Part of me wishes that I could, for sure.
Just
I
take
think-
off into the countryside?
Well, just to be able to do some crazy shit like that, like just because
Okay.
it also comes down to physical strength too.
Yeah, of course.
And physical capability, which that's definitely not something that you don't want to have.
That's something you could see yourself doing.
No,
Nah, why you?
Nah, like,
you
I
hesitated,
wish-
You hesitated, like, yeah. You're like, I
you
think
know,
so,
like
maybe.
no. Why would I don't have the time to invest into getting good enough to doing it. I mean, maybe one day I could do a rock climbing like with cables and shit.
Yeah,
that would be awesome. I'd be happy about that, especially if it's somewhere in Yosemite. That would be fucking sick. That I think I would be down to do.
For sure,
But
for
any
sure.
type of free climbing, nah, never that, right?
Yeah.
Never that. Because I don't know how good of. Well, you also can't panic though, too, right? Like when you're climbing like that, like and it's actually a risk. Because when you're in a place where it's all safe and there's cushions on the bottom
Like,
and
it's
shit
not
like that,
easy.
there's no worry about that, right? Because the worst thing that happens is nothing.
Yeah.
But when you're up there, like if you panic up there, then no, like it's all bad. But I guess that's how you start small, right? Like just do a small ass climb first, and then a little bit bigger one, and a little bit bigger one
Yep.
before you do something fucking big. But now I'm chilling too. I won't be signing up for it tomorrow.
Yeah, nah, I never pull no shit like that, man.
Yeah, but it's definitely there's something wicked to it though. Like it has to be
Some type of drive.
yeah, crazy adrenaline rush too.
Yeah, yeah.
Crazy adrenaline rush. I mean, you compare that to doing a stadium or something, right? A stadium performance.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, man. I feel
Ju-
like most sports is pretty much for the
Yeah,
big moment, the big
right.
thing to go tell someone about, you know?
The biggest challenge,
Yeah, for sure.
and most art is about that too, in a way.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's all competitive, you know? So
Right.
I feel like a lot of people that, probably, and this could be far off because not everyone watches sports, but I feel like a lot of people that kind of stem from sports, they all have that same competitive drive with a lot of type
Right.
of stuff that it goes into it.
For an artist, they're competing with the game too, right? They're not competing with people. I guess.
Yeah, because you got to keep up with the times as well.
Right.
For like a lot of
Right.
artists, they didn't make the transition to the digital wave.
Yeah, and in
And-
the sense, are you able to make the right move at the right time? Like Kendrick, he made all the right moves at all the right times. He played how he's played the last,
Yeah.
whatever 2 years. The last year really has been fucking perfect, bro.
Yeah.
He hasn't missed every play he's made was been the right play. He's just boom, boom, boom,
Yeah, no,
everything
for
just
sure.
so it just culminated perfectly.
Definitely someone good in his ear, definitely able to make good
Right,
decisions,
definitely
you
the
know?
team too. But
Yeah,
like that's
yeah.
also like part of being an artist also, right? Like you're competing with the game. Like
Yeah.
if you're good, if you're advancing enough and you're pushing yourself
You're
enough,
learning.
and you're gonna be ready for the next one because the next one's gonna be a little bit different level,
Yeah.
maybe even a different section of the game. But if you're advancing and you're growing, even not even musically, but just in your life, like if you're doing the self improvement, self development to move with the game and to be like, cause you never get to stop working hard.
Right.
So if you're doing that where you're just working on yourself all the time, like, and besides doing your artistry shit, which of course is a part of it,
Yeah.
like where you're improving yourself, where not that you know what to do, but you'll have that trust, like, oh, I'm gonna make the right decision anyway.
Yeah.
So whatever I'm gonna do, if it's time to drop this, or it's time to drop an album, or it's time to do this, like to be able to capitalize on your moment, then that's a part of the artist's job too. As far as the artist is also competing with the game, because the game is moving. Especially
Yeah.
rap, especially right now.
Yeah,
with
no,
the internet
definitely,
and
definitely.
this will kind of like. Honestly, he fucked the whole game up, bro. It's like kind of weird. Like, where does everybody go after this?
Yeah.
Like, I hate to say it, but like a lot of people kind of they don't mean shit right now, bro. Which no
what?
disrespect to them, but
Yeah,
it's
no,
like
no disrespect. I definitely think it's just like as far as the independent scene, I think it's just so wide now.
and
Because less people,
right.
Because the label thing is not something that you hear about. Like I feel like when it first came out, like towards the '90s,
For
all
sure,
that shit,
and I would have not to interrupt you. Apologize for that, but not even the independent scene, but that like the mainstream scene. I'm
Yeah.
saying like these top tier fools like the Big Sean's, Joey Badass, arguably J. Cole, Kanye West, Drake. It's almost like this fool has the game in his hand where everybody's kind of waiting to see what he does, bro. Like
yeah,
nobody's even stopped talking about him. Like he was on Playboy Cardi shit, which that of course made a bunch of noise.
yeah,
So like it's
mixed reports and shit.
yeah, for sure. Like,
For
cause
sure.
I mean, it was nothing crazy for me, especially compared to the shit he's been doing
Yeah,
over
yeah.
this last year. And I don't really like fuck with that wave, neither really, not right now anymore. Like the rage
Yeah,
sound,
yeah,
the
yeah.
rage beats, like all those synthesizers and shit. So yeah, it's
Hell of,
like
hell of a show though.
right. Cardi,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, like at Rolling Loud.
yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Nah, I don't know. You've ever been to Rolling Loud?
I went to Rolling Loud Oakland, 2020.
Crazy.
It was dope, bro.
That's random.
Honestly, dog, it was fucking sick as fuck. I want to say my favorite set, definitely Burner. I don't know if you fuck with Burner, but Burner went
yeah.
crazy, dog.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that shit was dope, dog. Fucking definitely after that set, it was pretty lit. I was there the whole weekend though. So
Yeah.
So and at the time, a lot of these artists, I feel were like barely into their motion. So I got to see a lot of dope shit. Like I seen Doja Cat, right?
Early.
She had just made that song Juicy. That was her first track, right?
Yeah.
You know, and
Well, after the cow one, and then she had that one. That
all right. I said never heard
Yeah.
no cow. I didn't hear the cow. Fuck. But point is, she had a dope set, and
Yeah.
she went on to. I felt like Doja.
Yeah.
I feel like if you don't fuck with Doja, you're not listening, dog.
Right.
I fuck with her. She has bars, dog. She's a rapper, for sure.
Which is
But yeah,
that's crazy.
my favorite set that
I
night.
have to take your word on that and go check out her
Bro,
catalog.
go fuck with it. Like I listen to female artists, bro. You know, and the ones that stand out when they have lyrical, you know, you listen to it. So fucking
Maybe you're able to appreciate it.
I felt like Doja's dope, bro. She's sick. And then that's even coming from like whether you're a fucking man or female, just like her confidence, just the way she talks about what she's talking about.
Right.
She stands on business. But you know, good
Nah,
flow, dog.
Yeah,
Ultimately,
nah,
what I'm
even
trying to
her
say.
like beat selection and shit. Cause
She got a lot of talent, bro. Like she
Yeah.
has different varieties. She has like a slow
She got
pop sounding
taste.
shit. She even got Bardo shit. She has shit that sounds like makes it seem like you can't fuck with her and shit. You know,
Yeah,
like she
yeah.
a player and shit. You know, so it's cool, man. Definitely cool. But yeah, I seen just a bunch of artists that weekend. The weekend was pretty fucking dope.
Is it this one right here?
Think even G-Eazy was there.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that was exactly this one. Yeah, so we seen all those motherfuckers.
Yeah, nah, that shit's fucking stacked.
Look at the lineup, bro.
Yeah, no,
We seen
that's
the
good.
Baby,
21,
Shoreline.
Kodak,
That shit was
Gunna,
going nuts, bro. Burner, but
Trippie Red, yeah,
but
that's
like
stacked, bro.
bro, and that's
Super stacked.
it-
Meg, Guap Dad, Bands, Dolph, rest
Man, I
in
haven't
peace
even
on
seen how sick
Kamaya.
this fucking shit is.
Especially they were turning up like crazy from anybody
and I'll be
for
real,
anybody
bro.
from the Bay over there, right? Like Kamaya set probably went crazy.
Bro, and I'll be real, like even SOB RBE fucking went crazy, bro. But I remember like so that weekend, bro. It was me, my homie, and two of our friends and shit.
Yeah.
And fucking Saturday was super lit, super sick. I remember Sunday, me and one of my friends, like, dog, we're fucking chilling, bro. But it was fucking sick, dog. But I always ask her, like, hey, you remember that shit? Towards Sunday night, bro, like it was fucking sick, bro.
Yeah,
one
yeah,
of
I know.
the better concerts I've been to for sure.
Well, and you went all 3 days too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to explain it to somebody that hasn't been like all 3 days, but
It was
it's
2
fucking,
days. I think it was Tuesdays.
Okay.
For
Oh,
sure.
yeah,
for sure.
yeah, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, like it's hard to explain it because it's there's also not, you can't deny that it's a lot of work, bro. Like being up and being ready, like it's exhausting on the body,
Bro,
like
to do shit like that, you've got to
2
be
days-
mentally prepared, bro.
Right,
And
right.
you're gonna do a lot in such a short amount of time.
you're gonna need a lot of shit too. Like all
Yeah.
the shit you take, you're gonna need a lot
Yeah.
of shit to get. If you want to get through it smart and comfortably, it's like, you know, Coachella. The times that I've went to Coachella, which has only been 2, like I was prepared, like with you know, with enough water, with enough this,
Yeah.
enough that, you know, all the whole thing. Unless you're gonna kind of thug it out, but when you get past that and those moments when you're in it with everybody, it's ridiculous. It's fucking crazy, right? Because you're in the crowd with everybody and everybody's lit and it's fucking the set's banging. You're hearing a song that you love. It's it's off the charts, bro.
You know,
it's incredible.
Not to cut you out, but you know what's crazy is that what I'm noticing on the flyer, right there is AZ Chike, bro.
Yeah,
That's
Yep.
crazy because you know you hear of him now. He got the feature with Kendrick on
right,
the
bigger
Peekaboo
than
type.
ever. Bigger than ever.
But I had no idea he was at that
Yeah.
shit, bro. That's fucking dope.
I noticed that too. Even like One Take J, he was popping around that time too, right?
Yeah,
Shorty
yeah.
Shorty. I think even Ronnie J. But also like Rex Life and Larry June is popping like a motherfucker too now.
Bro, it was a
Kid
hard lineup.
Leroy right
Polo
there in
G,
the-
dog.
in the
Come on,
cut.
so crazy. We pop out at your party. I'm with the gang. That's a cool
Polo
little track.
G and
Yeah. Shit was
Little
hard.
yeah, and then Migos and Lil Uzi headlining.
Yeah, it was hard,
Ooh,
bro.
Those headliners are all fucking crazy too. Jeezy in the Bay.
Yeah, Jeezy and the Bay was cool, man.
Yeah, Mando, right?
The girl that I was chilling with, she was like a crazy G-Eazy fan, bro.
Yeah.
That was like her love and shit, you know? But fucking, it was dope, man.
Currency, Polo G, yeah, that's bangers, bro. That lineup
Come
is
on.
crazy.
Hey, yeah, Currency's dope, bro.
Juice WRLD, Playboy, Young Thug, Nab, Tyga, Lil Yachty, The Baby, Shoreline, all in your top row right there.
What up, Mike Sherm?
Currency,
I'm
Sweetie,
a
yeah.
motherfucking asshole. Mike Sherm, dog.
Yeah.
You're a cool little
Lil
champ, bro.
TJ, yeah, that's a stacked lineup. Burner, Burner brought all the smokers
You know, and
out.
that's the thing about Rolling Loud, bro. Like they really, you know, and I don't know how much they be putting out as far as like bringing in talent and shit, but
Yeah.
but they have stacked their lineups, bro. And you know, you used to hear a lot about other like festivals, concerts, powerhouse type of shit, but I really feel like as of now, just today, and as far as USA goes, like I feel like Rolling Loud, probably the biggest artist names you're gonna get together in one spot.
It's
you know?
competing.
Yeah, and I don't really see who else is throwing fest. iHeartRadio Fest maybe. But
Yeah, or Coachella, right?
I mean, fucking Coachella, yeah, bro. But I do feel like
Alright.
there's a lot of different music there. It's like house music and shit like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
you know?
yeah. No, it's not a strictly
You got
rap.
like David Guetta, you know,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
For sure. Even I don't mean like what. Well, yeah, anything. Rolling Loud's the only one that's trying to push rap, but they also had Peso Pluma on the.
Yeah,
on
which
the
is dope, and you know,
lineup
I
today
feel
too,
Mexicans
or
are
this year.
really putting a thumbprint, kind of in music and just across the board right now.
Yeah, yeah, which is crazy, huh?
I mean, it's cool. I just hope everyone's cool, you know.
Which yeah, that's interesting too, because that means like even in rap and in of course
Yeah.
Spanish music is popular than ever right now as far as like corridos and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Whether or not that's the part of the movement with like Bad Bunny and all that reggaeton that hit or whatever subject he falls under
Yeah.
or genre he falls under.
It's called dance. Man. I mean, I wouldn't really know too much to call it either, bro. But definitely, I feel like they got it wide.
Yeah, I think
Range.
reggaeton's fair, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this lineup's crazy, bro. And how did that come about? Like being in the Bay and
You know what?
were you guys there for this? Like,
yeah. So pretty much, I forgot kind of where I'm staying at the time, but the homie hits me up. He's like, "Hey, we trying to do this." More or less, he was
Right.
with two other people,
yeah.
and they pretty much said like, "Are you down?" And I was at the time, I think I was like open that weekend, you know. So I was like, "Yeah, I'm down, bro. Let's get it." And it was dope. I enjoyed myself and shit, you know.
Hell yeah.
But fucking definitely, it was an experience to just see like a bunch of big time artists in one spot and kind of seeing how much people they have at this fucking spot, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it was dope, bro. And they all killed the shit. Like there was not a set that was weak, I think. Dog.
That you saw.
Yeah, for sure.
You just experiencing it too, like moving around like that, and it's kind of like
you know,
it's kind of like a movie too,
and
right?
I'll be real. Back then, I used to drink like Hennessy on the rocks and shit.
Yeah.
So that weekend was pretty lit. It's pretty lit.
Yeah, you're thugging it out
It
that
was
weekend.
dope. Yeah, it was a cool little thug session, though. It was cool.
Can we see where this was at too? Like what fairgrounds or what park? Oh, yeah. So it was right outside the Coliseum.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy. Oh, Coliseum's gone too, right?
I think so now.
Or did they knock it down already?
You know what? I haven't been back to Oakland since. You know.
Yeah, because I know the A's left.
Where they at?
They're going to Vegas. They're at I think they're
They're
gonna
already
play.
over there
No, they're gonna play in a minor league park. I think.
in Oakland.
No, like in Florida. I'm not sure. And then they're
Okay.
gonna go to Vegas. They're building one in Vegas. No, it's still there.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, it says the Oakland Coliseum, including the Oakland Arena, is slated for redevelopment by the African American Sports and Entertainment Group, who have purchased the property from the city of Oakland and the Oakland A's, with plans for a multi-use complex, including housing, sports venues, and commercial spaces. Crazy. Housing too? I mean, I would assume that means they're gonna.
So it's probably still up. They just got a time frame.
Are they gonna build around it? They would have to take it all down, right, and rebuild. Cause you can't make the Coliseum. I've never been there, but I would figure you can't make the Coliseum modern, right? Crazy. That's a bar right there.
Yeah.
You can't make the Coliseum modern.
I can see that. No, but you know what? I'm not too sure. The one time two times I went. I went once for Rolling Loud. I think I went another time for a Raider game actually. Not a Raider fan, but just.
That's a bold move to not be a Raider fan.
Shout out Cowboys and 6.
No, was that a Cowboys game?
No.
Yeah. That would have been a Super Bowl.
You know, I think one of my friends, he's like a season holder to this day, so season holder. But yeah, he was just pretty much like, hey, bro, you trying to go? You trying to drive?
Let's go.
Pulled out to Oakland my first time. They played the Ravens, got their ass kicked. Ravens went crazy that day. It was like 55-12 or something.
How long ago was this?
Oh man, probably like fuck.
Like who's
2011 maybe.
also Joe Flacco was
Yeah,
the quarterback?
I think so,
Oh,
man.
it's cool. You got to see a Super Bowl champion quarterback. Huh?
Yeah, yeah. That's it.
Crazy.
It was a cool experience. Tailgated the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, the Bay got something to it. There's no denying that, right?
Right, for sure.
I'm sure you saw the culture, like with Kamaya, G-Eazy, Guap Dad's from the Bay too. I'm sure even Rex Life is from Larry June. They got a gang of people from the Bay there
Larry
too.
June is sick.
Yeah, they really tapped in with the Bay when you think about it.
Yeah.
Because all of those who's Neff the Pharaoh, I'm pretty sure he's from the Bay. Burner, of course. Yeah, nah, they played it right there.
I
Also,
mean, it's only right you bring the people
Yeah.
that kind of came up right there, you know?
yeah, that's how you're gonna get the most out of the city
Bang
too,
for your
right?
buck and
yeah.
shit.
Yeah, now festivals are dope. Festivals are dope as fuck, man. Definitely people should experience those shits too, cause it's fun.
Yeah, if you haven't been, definitely fucking go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you've been a bunch of times, then
It's
also, I
there's no
guess-
rush to go back, but if
Right,
you
right.
haven't been, go.
Yeah,
you
I
know,
guess-
they say like it's just my fucking experience. You know, the more you fucking get older, mature, whatever word you want to say, you know, you party different, bro. So
Yeah.
fucking, you have a chance to kind of go do it how you did it before. You can go and get VIP this time. Like this is
hell yeah.
It's just different experiences that you you gotta have I guess you gotta like to do it, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Or I mean, even if you don't like to do it though, it's worth a try because you'll probably end up liking it.
For sure, you should experience everything
Yeah,
once.
yeah. Especially that's what makes it cool though too. That
Like, even if you don't like shit, definitely go try it anyway, you know.
and that's what makes it cool is that it's so jam packed in that short amount of time that you only need to do it once or twice.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, right? Like you don't have to go every year. You see enough artists to last you fucking,
Fucking years. And
Yeah, yeah, bro. You have that experience.
Yup.
Especially when it's a good one. Especially that one was fucking
That one was
crazy.
sick.
That one, I think that one's way better than the LA lineup this year.
You know, I want to say that year the LA lineup also was a little
Was
bit different.
Yeah, was not
It was a
hitting
big
like
difference.
that.
I think Tyga was the mainstream guy.
Yeah, because this year's compared to that Bay Area one, I think you saw a way crazier lineup. Have you been to any other festivals? Or was that the only one?
I mean, I've been to raves before and shit, so I was doing that for a while, bro. When I was younger, definitely.
Hey, did you hit any EDCs or anything like that?
Yeah, definitely hit a bunch of them.
Hell yeah.
I want to say up to like 2012 maybe. From like 2009 to about 2012, I was pretty much going to every big event.
Man,
doing my
that's
thing.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah. At that time, it was a couple artists that were pretty sick. Deadmau5 coming up. Fucking Layback Luke was cracking.
So you were even
DJ.
going to like at the Coliseum and shit to LA
Yeah, yeah. I
Coliseum?
mean,
Oh,
I
hell
hit
yeah.
I hit all the main spots. The Nas Event Center in San Bernardino, the fucking Coliseum in LA. Just different places, you know. And back then it was funny because they would have like, it was just a different type of promotion and shit. But you would hear like Mushroom Festival, fucking. This is new. I don't know. Just the rave culture was a little bit different, I think. Than
How
it
they
is-
try to brand it.
I mean, just how it is nowadays. Nowadays, it's a lot more mainstream. You know, you kind of got like, I don't know. I can't really compare the difference unless I have pictures to show you what I'm talking about.
Right,
you know?
right. Well, it's definitely became more of a thing now, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So like it's, I guess
Like back then, it was like a lifestyle type shit.
right. It was a lot more niche.
For sure, for sure.
I feel like I just seen a video of like like POV. It was like TikTok or something. POV, you pull up to the Coliseum,
Yeah.
full of 50,000 ravers and shit. And it was the video was old for sure. So but it was cool.
Yeah,
It
shit
was cool
dope.
seeing that. Hell yeah, bro! What an experience, huh?
Yeah, it was dope.
I'm gonna make a sharp turn, bro. But when I was going through your page and just doing my due diligence,
Yeah.
I seen you I came across a post of how you're helping out at this orphanage in Ensenada right there on the right.
Yeah.
And like if it's not too much to ask, like I want to see how'd you get started in that.
Okay, yeah. No, you know what, bro?
And
This is actually kind of cool, man, because every year I actually run like a raffle, kind of like a charity thing, and pretty much we gather funds and we take it to this orphanage. So the orphanage name is Casa Jugad, right? You'll catch on my accent.
where
It's
is
not
it?
the best. It's in Ensenada, right? So anyway, my family has been doing that shit for a long time. Primarily, my grandma and my grandpa kind of started it. My dad has kind of been carrying it and doing his thing. And I've just kind of been getting involved recently, just to kind of help him bring awareness to it and a lot of stuff like that. I mean, we have pretty good turnouts every year. We appreciate everyone that does support the cause and kind of what's been able to happen. So what you're seeing right there in some of those clips is actually what they do with a lot of the money. So what's important, especially when it comes to charity, what's important is to kind of understand what is going where, what is being paid for, kind of what's happening, what's the agenda.
Right.
Because so many times people get caught up on donating, and they understand they're donating, and they possibly might have a sponsorship, but it's just important to be involved with the way the money is. And,
Yeah, they don't really know what's going on.
And it's important to know that it is public information, and you are allowed to kind of know what's going on. And obviously, I hate to say it, but things like fraud and scam and all that is a big place in the world of charity. There is a lot of opportunity for people to kind of get something started who may not understand what exactly they're doing. And it's okay, it's all a learning experience. But just in my experience with Casa of God, basically, this lady, she herself, probably about 20 years ago or so, kind of started this from nothing, bro. It was really just a piece of land, not too much going on.
Can we search up their Google Maps too, just to see like how long they've been open and everything? And that's the lady that you guys connected with?
Yeah, so somehow, not somehow, but they've been going through a long time, obviously, without getting too deep into the religious aspect of things, that's kind of what's pushed as far as my dad into it and kind of what he felt his calling was. Because, it's not, I mean, it is common, but not common for people nowadays to take on the traditions of their people. A lot of people are in tune with the modernization of things, and they kind of tend to drift towards more modern type things.
Yeah, something new.
But every now and then, beyond a lot of the materialistic stuff and stuff like that, like people do find causes that they can relate to, or that they just feel that they have a calling. And so, kind of seeing my people kind of push into that, it kind of it allows me to understand that it's not always there's just a lot that we could be doing, and so much that we don't see. As far as this specific one, as you were seeing in those clips, they kind of showing you the progression, and that's what impresses me the most. I want to say, at this point, they've created classes to the point where they have, and a lot of the people that come in is like pro bono, kind of like volunteers.
Right.
But they have people come in and qualified teachers, certified this, and they're giving out certifications. They're helping people get, diplomas, and they really pushing a lot of stuff. It started with nothing. That's the craziest thing about it. And they've managed to build enough of, just enough of like
enough support,
and they show what they do. So that's what I like about them most. But yeah, like I said, man, it's an all girl orphanage, and it's just a lot of us are luckier than we. Nope, I don't want to say lucky. What's the word I'm looking for? Like
blessed.
It's just we don't see a lot of what people really see, and there's a lot of more fucked up shit, And
sure.
And personally, I think like a lot of the shit we complain about is shit that we can't control. For example, like people are like, oh, I don't like my fucking job, I'll do this and that. A lot of that shit you can't control, more or less. But these are things that people can't control.
No, not at all.
They're born in situations, their parents, whatever the situation may be, and it's cool to see when people lock in and feel like they have a chance. And, it's not something that's everywhere. Like here in America, there's a lot of opportunity they get a lot of funding for shit, bro. Like,
right.
It's just more of a chance to, and I'm not saying America fucking helps out everyone, but I'm just saying for the most part,
there's definitely a lot of corruption here too.
There's definitely a lot of corruption, but the line for the most part is you can find help some way. In some of these other countries, there is no backup. They rely 100% on support from the world and shit like that. But yeah, so that trip, I just kind of went out there just to kind of get in touch with, just the way things work, So
Yeah.
I was there for a few days, It was cool.
And what are you guys doing exactly? Like you guys are selling like raffle tickets and such. That's how you help raise the money.
No, yeah. So pretty much for the money part of it,
And it's every holiday. It's during the holidays too,
and during
right?
the holidays, every December, bro. So sometime during December, we kind of sell tickets. We hold a raffle. We offer prizes, and ultimately it's for charity. We take it all over there, and yeah, we also get like a very humbling experience when we get out there. It just kind of lets you know, like, just kind of you have an opportunity that most people don't fucking have. You know what I mean? So it's up to you how you kind of control shit.
Yeah,
like
and it's good for the soul too, huh?
yeah, for sure. I think most people can relate when you do something from like a selfless point of view, that there's just like a humbling experience that kind of comes with it. So when you get involved in that, if that's for you, if that's what you liking, like definitely the world needs more
And-
selflessness.
And if we could say that, even if you don't like it, just like we said for raves and fucking and festivals, like even if you don't like it, you should probably try it because you might end up liking it.
Yeah, I mean, it never hurts and shit. But I mean, obviously, I'm not here to tell no one what to do.
Right. Of course.
But I do encourage it.
But yeah, we encourage fucking
Yeah, man.
fit raving.
You know what I
and
mean?
it's-
If I
it
got
would-
two, if I got 2 arms, 2 legs, like I'm not tripping shit just because I'm not gonna go and just I don't know. That's cool, man.
Yeah, no, it's even like just a trip, just from I didn't expect that. Not
Yeah.
that there was anything I expected in particular other than your music when I was looking through your page and shit. But
Okay.
it's also like, bro, I just saying I thought of like an orphanage. Like I haven't thought about an orphanage. When's the
Yeah,
last time
yeah.
I thought about an orphanage? Like it was almost something in my mind. It happened in the past.
Yeah.
Like it's not something that happens now. Like
Okay.
not consciously that I thought that way.
Right.
It was just that I hadn't thought about it in so long. It wasn't, I hadn't thought about it.
Yeah.
It wasn't in my mind. So it was also like, damn, like, fuck, that's really something people are going through. Like that's really
Yeah.
the life they're waking up to. And
No, that's 100% the reality.
I think we for sure, I could make a commitment on the podcast to get involved too. Even if it's just a donation from me.
Yeah,
And
bro,
that's
man,
fine,
that'd be dope. We'll
that's
be-
fine. But if anybody else wants to help or get involved and contribute to the cause, we for
we'll
sure
be-
can do that.
We'll be open every December, man.
Yeah.
So
So
we
we'll,
tend to take it right before Christmas. So that's
yeah,
fine,
yeah,
man.
we'll tap right in, bro.
Cool, man.
We'll
Cool,
tap right
cool.
in.
For sure, man.
How you want to send that song, bro?
Oh yeah.
Let's
man.
play that. I felt like that's something I had said too. Like, oh, when the artists come up, let's play a track.
All right, I think it's the Imperial.
Yeah.
That's cool. I've watched all this shit. I've watched all these shows, man.
We had the fucking
No, like the Game of Thrones shit, bro.
Yeah.
That shit's tough, bro. Like, I don't like nowadays. I don't have time, right? But at one point, that was probably the last show that I really got watched all the way through.
Yeah, and we're invested.
And I went twice on it, bro.
Hell yeah,
That
wicked.
that shit was cool, man.
We had the Game of Thrones
It
fucking
should be sent.
the bottle opener there, like no, nobody hacked that shit though, huh? Fools are gonna be looking for that shit on fucking our IP address. Let me get all this shit. Let me get all these shows.
Oh yeah, so this is it. This is me, John Yetti featuring Johnny C, bro. Shout out the homie Johnny C, bro. We kind of cooked it up. Probably about a day or so and shit.
Yeah, you can raise it a little bit on the monitor too.
It's like West Coast vibe though.
Yeah, I
So we
can
got the
hear it.
video shoot this Sunday. That's the time. Oh yeah.
Can you start it over again, yeah, please?
I don't need me a job. Yeah, you know the boy actually. There's like I think we worked on another track as well, man. He actually he wrote the hook pretty quick, man. He just fucking.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
All of the
Seats when I push the ride.
California summers, we're right by the tide. Put the city on the map, right in front of their eyes.
Gain money off of rap. I don't need me a job.
Push me in the booth, I don't need me a
Yeah.
Clyde. It's money over bitches,
Come fuck with the mob.
Push me in the booth, I don't need me a Clyde. It's money over bitches, come fuck with the mob. I ain't tripping about a bitch, I'm gonna get us rich.
You ever chance to freestyles trying to get us lit?
If I ain't in the studio session, I'm probably in the mix.
double cup full of act. I don't do the tricks.
Southeast, baby, I'm the one that got his trophy up. 5'6", dudes,
Yeah.
see the tab, we know you heard of us.
And he wrote that shit pretty quick too, bro.
Yeah.
Have you ever collabed with like people in the booth and shit? Like you get to see different like types, the way they work and shit. Professional too. But what's time without you?
Me and you in love, been way past due. Open up your door, that's what a
Real man do.
Bring it back to the hook, let's cruise out to a view. All of the seats when I
Yeah, so we got the video shoot Sunday, bro. It's gonna be pretty dope. Little beach vibe, you know?
Yeah, well, let me know what's up, and maybe I can pull up.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, pull up.
The main
Help
record,
out.
the main recording should be from like 4 to 7 right now. This is the second verse right here too, right? I need a minute. We got the whole summer. Dip it by the beach, give out the wrong number. It's a cold world. This world, you gotta love it. How you got 4 bitches but got none in public. Main chick bad, she quick to get bustin'. No, bust it ain't no problem. All of y'all I don't trust her. Nobody here was right when I had nothing. Don't play with me, girl. Fuck around, you might love it. California weather, no pressure, we too above it. Tell me what you like. It's cool if it's just fucking. Yeah, it's some like California vibes, you know, the West Coast shit.
Especially for summer.
Check the money, I ain't do it for the cash, but shit, glad that it's coming. Homie, serve 'em up, the homie got it, it's nothing. No back to the grind, ain't no future in your front. Yeah, man, so that's gonna be pretty dope. So, yeah, like I said, video Sunday. If you want to pull up, man. It'd be dope.
Yeah, I might pull up. Is bro shooting it too?
Bro's there too.
Yeah, same guy from the last one, NGB.
Yeah, he's gonna be shooting it.
Yeah,
yeah. Shout out the boy 9.
There you go.
9, if you
9.
see this shit.
Yeah,
pull up,
his work is dope too, bro. I like his editing and shit.
Yeah,
a couple of them look.
He has
I fuck with
he
it.
has good work, man.
Yeah.
What I like about him, he's really up to date with a lot of his methods, his shooting style. So if you're looking to really modernize your picture or kind of push your brand in a way that's current, because I mean, obviously you're always gonna have love for the old school, bro. But your hope is that you find someone that's adapting and understanding the perks,
the tools at our hands,
the possible strengths, and learning the game. And that's what's tough is that you gotta consistently keep on learning and digitally evolve and all that bullshit. But he's super creative, man, super modernized and shit like that. Like I wish we could. I want to show you this little video he did with his. Is there a way you can jump on the Instagram right here?
Yeah, you could jump on a IG, please.
Just type in NGB Media.
Yeah, no, we're gonna tap in for sure, bro. Get some.
I just want to show you this little commercial he did with the sun. It was pretty cool, man.
Get some of these concepts out.
Let's see. Let me go down. Go up. Damn, I can't even tell what the main thumbtack would be. You know what? Try going to NGB9.
Yeah, man, or maybe that one in the middle.
No. Go back to the profiles. My bad. That's one of his profiles. But go to NGB9. Just gonna write 9 wrote out. All right, that's it right there. The first one. This is a cool little video he just did with his son. It's pretty, but it just shows you his shooting style.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
very cool. Very that's like the old school Nike bullshit. But he's just so creative, man. Like I feel like I've seen him really bring a lot of things to life. And if you just kind of like have time to dabble on his page and stuff like that, like he does it all from family portraits to sporting events, all the way to like,
Short form content,
like grand openings and shit like that. Like he's just really, it's just cool. It's short,
Yeah, no,
quick,
it's
to the
cool.
point. Fire.
I like that shot right there for sure.
Yeah, and then
That-
and if you look at his like a lot of his creative ideas, like just some of the concepts with some of this. This is his personal page, but I think his media page actually has a little more of it. But if you kind of take a look at it, you kind of see that each video is more or less purposeful, and just kind of has. That's actually us right there. That's old school shit.
It's a good spot right there too.
Yeah, that was a cool freestyle. We actually did that in the streets of Pomona, I think. That was dope, man. I think it's the same vibe right there.
Looks like it'll be Hollywood, huh?
Yeah, you can hire it up. It's a little freestyle shit. But he shot the whole shit, like the different clips, the different angles.
Yeah.
He created the whole vision, really. Like he found the location, like everything. All I did was pull up.
Shout out to 9.
Pull up rap, yeah. Shout out 9, bro. That was tough, man. Got a lot of skill, a lot of
Yeah,
talent.
no, we gotta tap in for sure, bro.
If you ever need promo for the, for the pod, he'll tap you in, bro. He's pretty creative. Pretty dude.
Now, even the experience at you guys' video shoot at the end of the last year was dope too.
There's Savvy right there. Matt, I don't know if you guys know Matt.
Yeah. The Sav man.
Yeah, man. I'm waiting for him to pop back out, man. I ain't seen him. Still see it, man.
Yeah, no, we're gonna see what's up. It's gonna be an interesting year, nonetheless. I'm gonna have to get him on here too. I'm gonna have to get. It's gonna keep moving. It's gonna keep moving.
That's good, man.
We're gonna see what's up. We're gonna get some sessions in too, bro.
Yeah, for
Most
sure,
definitely.
Man.
Yeah. So the name of the pod is going from here. So I'll just ask you, what's next? Where do you go? Where are you going from here? What's the plan?
Yeah, I mean, so pretty much as far as like plans go, pretty much what we got going on, to be this weekend we're actually working on a video. So I have a couple new shit. Just recently, I'm not too sure if you got the chance to kind of listen to it.
So the tape?
Yeah. So me and my boy Young Savvy, shout out Savvy. We actually have a tape that we just finished up probably about a month ago.
Yeah. No, I listened to the whole thing. For
okay.
Sure.
Cool. Yeah. We got a couple videos on YouTube. You want to check that out. From there, we kind of finished our little collab tape, and at that point, obviously I had to kind of capitalize on other angles that I had going on. So, I'm actually working on a collab with some cat, Johnny C. If you have a chance to check him out, he's pretty fucking dope. Yeah, we got a little collab going. We have a few tracks, but we finished one recently, and we actually got the video shoot on the way Sunday. So that's gonna be pretty fucking dope.
You got that locked in already too for Sunday?
Locked in, bro. I've been preparing as kind of I'm not too sure if I reached out, but I mean at the time I was looking for like a whip and a couple of things, So
Yeah.
I'm trying to piece everything together right now. We're kind of in that process, but we have a lot of things confirmed so far, so I think it's gonna be a good shoot. I'm excited to fucking show everyone how it looks,
Yeah. No,
should be
that's
pretty
dope
dope,
as fuck. So hell yeah, bro. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.